It's a pivotal shift in the war that has scarred Europe since 2022 today, and Putin has called for peace talks with Ukraine in Istanbul, but Kyiv, bolstered by its Western allies, is firm talks must only begin when and if the bombs stop falling. That is not diplomacy as usual. This is a high stakes standoff between two incompatible visions of peace, one that demands trust and one that demands advantage. And in a late night Kremlin broadcast, President Putin proposed direct peace negotiations with Ukraine in Istanbul without preconditions, he says. But of course, the preconditions are implicit. He claims that it was Ukraine who broke off talks in 2022 and insists that the time has come to talk about root causes. But of course, that again is a code for his Russian stooges. Yet the timing is hardly innocent. His forces continue to strike Ukrainian cities mere hours after proposing dialogue. As a 72-hour ceasefire to commemorate Victory Day expired, over 100 drones were launched against Ukraine. Whatever that was, it was not a gesture of peace. And the Turkish President Erdogan, ever the host of impossible summits, eagerly agreed to stage the event. He even called it an historic turning point, which of course it is and would be. But here's the catch. There's no point talking if the bombs keep dropping, and that's precisely what President Zelenskyy and his allies are insisting on. In Kyiv on Saturday, Zelenskyy was flanked by an extraordinary quartet. France's Emmanuel Macron, Germany's Friedrich Merz, Poland's Donald Tusk, and UK's Keir Starmer. The symbolism was as striking as the message. Zelenskyy said the entire world has waited for this. It's a positive sign that Russia is even considering peace, but it's only a sign. No one talks while the killing continues, and Macron put it bluntly, there can be no dialogue if at the same time civilians are being bombed. The coordinated demand, a 30-day unconditional ceasefire on land, sea and in the air, nothing more, nothing less. It's not just political theatre, the West is serious, and so Keir warned that if Russia rejects the ceasefire, sanctions will be tightened, especially in energy and finance. Ursula von der Leyen confirmed a new 17th sanctions package was being finalised. The message, stop the killing, or we'll make it hurt even more. Even Donald Trump weighed in. On his social media platform, he hailed the moment as a potentially great day for Russia and Ukraine, claiming it could save hundreds of thousands of lives. He avoided specifics, as is his custom, but Zelenskyy and Macron both confirmed he was briefed. Interestingly, Zelenskyy has taken to luring Trump with talks of minerals, trade and legacy. Macron, ever the realist, said Putin was just buying time, and he's probably right. His aides have made clear what Putin actually wants. They're happy to talk about root causes, meaning NATO's existence, Ukraine's sovereignty, and one suspects rewriting history, but they will not agree to a ceasefire unless Ukraine stops receiving Western weapons. As Dmitry Peskov said to CNN, why should we grant Ukraine that advantage? That's not negotiation, that's extortion. And Kyiv knows it. As Zelensky's chief aide, Andrei Yermak, put it, first a 30-day ceasefire, then everything else. This is not just a diplomatic chess match, it's a moral trial. Do we allow the aggressor to dictate the terms of peace while continuing to drop bombs? Zelenskyy, with the weight of Europe behind him, has answered firmly, no ceasefire, no talks. This is just a few hours ago. And Macron, with characteristic lucidity, has framed the stakes. There can be no dialogue while civilians are being bombed. Putin may have suggested Istanbul, but Kyiv has drawn the line. Now, the next move is Moscow's. And the world is watching. And the world is waiting. And I don't think Putin has very many cards to play, because the cards are now on the table. Putin can say, well, I'm going away and I'm just going to continue fighting because I'm an aggressive bastard. Or he can say, okay, I agree, let's actually have some serious talking. But my instinct is that the talking will not happen. My instinct is that Putin will try to reframe this as Zelenskyy and Kyiv rejecting his offer. Because that's what it really, in the end, this is a piece of theatre by Russia. It's not, in fact, a serious proposition. I wish it were. I hope it can become so. You know, even a dismissive joke can turn around to becoming the truth. But it takes some effort and some persuasion. Let's see how much persuasion, let's see how much goodwill there is. There are people who could persuade Trump. Now is the time for Patriarch Kirill to recognize his moral duty, but I don't think he has that recognition. I don't think that is within the scope of his extraordinarily distorted understanding of the Christian message. But he is somebody who could lever the situation forward. He is somebody who could do something positive. I worry about the figures that Putin might listen to. Putin, I use the term loosely, as you know.